Alright, so for our first problem, we're going to find the exact value of cosine 120. So to find the exact value of cosine 120, we go and we look on the unit circle at 120 degrees and we get our coordinates. So at 120 degrees, our coordinates are negative 1 half square root of 3 over 2. So we're going to put negative 1 half square root of 3 over 2. Now, when you're finding the exact value of cosine, cosine's always x. So in this case, the x value would be negative 1 half. And that's our answer. Now for tangent, it's a little more complicated. It's y over x. So we're going to look at our coordinates for 30 degrees on the unit circle. And it'd be square root of 3 over 2 and 1 half. So then we do y over x, so 1 half over square root of 3 over 2. And to do this, we need to keep, change, flip. So we keep 1 half, change our division to multiplication, and we flip. So we put 2 over square root of 3, and we solve. So we're going to get 1 over square root of 3, but we cannot have a square root in the denominator. So to take this square root out of the denominator, we multiply both top and the bottom by the square root of 3. And our answer would be square root of 3 over 3. Now, we are evaluating cosine 165. So we look at the unit circle and what two previous angles give us 165 in degrees. So 120 and 45 added together gives us cosine 165. So to do this, we just put cosine and we do 120 plus 45, and that's it. Okay. Now, for our next problem, we have a double angle, right? And when we are solving double angles, we have to use the formula. So for sin 2x, the formula comes out to 2 sin x cosine x. That's the formula for sin 2x. And we basically plug it into here. So plug it into the rest of the equation, and we basically get zeros, and that's our equation we saw from there. So to do this, we get rid of cosine here, cosine x, divide by cosine here again, and we would get cos x 2 sin x plus 1 equals 0. So then cosine x equals 0, and 2 sin x plus 1 equals 0. So outside the parentheses equal to 0, inside the parentheses equal to 0. And we solved, and for sin, it's going to be sin x equals negative 1 half. And for cosine x, it's just cosine x. That's where it's at. Now, so remember how I said for cosine, you're always looking for the x value. So for which values in the unit circle, for which coordinates are the x coordinates 0? So we look at our unit circle, and for 0 on the x coordinates, it's pi over 2. So we write down pi over 2, comma, what else? 0 at 270 degrees, so it's 3 pi over 2, and those are our only ones, and then we add 2 and pi. And then for sin, you're always looking for the y. So for sine, you're always looking for y, and we are looking for negative 1 half in the y coordinate. So for negative 1 half in the y coordinate, we have 210 degrees, so that's 7 pi over 6. We also have 330 degrees, so 11 pi over 6. And that's it, and then plus 2n pi. Then for our last problem, basically when you have the cosines and all like this, you basically just subtract the cosines, just remove them for now for the equation, just for the help of it, and you basically just write the formula out and solve it like that. So we would have 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 equals 0. And basically we just factor this out. So we're going to get 2x squared plus 2x plus x plus 1 equals 0. And that's where we get our thing. So, and we are going to have, so in common, 2x inside the parentheses x plus 1. We take out what's in common here, it would be 1. And then in parentheses x plus 1 all equals to 0. Then you put both outside the parentheses together, so we're going to have 2x plus 1 equals 0 and x plus 1 equals 0. So we solve for these, minus 1 here, and we're going to have x equals negative 1, and over here solve for this, minus 1, 2x equals negative 1, divide by 2, divide by 2. And we have x equals negative 1/2. And now this is where we bring our cosine back. So we just have cosine x equals negative 1/2 and cosine x equals 1. So just like before, we are looking for the x intervals that have negative 1/2 and 1. So we go back to our unit circle, and for negative 1/2, we have 2 pi over 3. So it's 120 degrees. And we have negative 1/2, 4 pi over 3, and then we do plus 2 and pi, that's all we have. And then for cosine x, for the intervals that have 1, would be just 2 pi. And we add 2 and pi, and that's it.